Hey guys, Paul Lynn here. Another video talking about how to live well, how to have that good life. And this is something that you've heard it, and most people don't really focus on it nearly as much as they should. But the world would be so much better place if more people would get this revelation in their head, okay? You need to love. All right, I don't just mean treat well and care about. No, I mean like you need to have stars in your eyes. You need to admire the person you see in the mirror. Okay? In life, a lot of us have had role models. We've had heroes. We've had people that we looked up to and said, man, I'd like to be like that guy. He's got this and he's done that, and for whatever reason, it's okay to have those role models. We've all got them. That's a healthy thing. But my number one role model out of all the human beings walking this planet, this is going to sound egotistical as hell until you really understand where I'm coming from. But if there's one person that I admire in this whole world more than anybody else, it's myself. Doesn't that sound really asinine? Doesn't that sound arrogant and conceited? Well, it is and it isn't, because let me tell you why I feel that way. I did not always feel that way. I don't like me just because I'm me. I like me because I used to hate me. I used to be weak. I used to be a pushover. I used to not know how to stand up for myself. I used to back down from confrontation. I used to treat people badly. I used to be an absolute horror in a relationship. I used to be a person that honestly didn't contribute much, didn't produce much, wasn't worth much. I hated me. Then I got to a point where I decided to take responsibility for who I was. I wasn't born a failure. I wasn't born an unhappy person. I had been raised to be this way, but you know what? I can raise myself. I can become whatever I want. I'm 46 years old today, and if I decide I want to be a different person a month from now, I can do it. My brain is not the product of somebody else. It's mine. I control it. I can choose my behaviors. I can choose my beliefs. I can choose how I want to live my life, right? And when I was in my early 20s, this is something I did. I sat down and I literally took a piece of paper and a pen and I started writing down a description of the person that I wanted to be. I want to be someone who does this and who is like this and who has that and who works like this and who earns this much and lives in a place like this. And I just sat down and created this dream person and lifestyle who I wanted to be. And then I made myself become that person. Step by step, investing in what I needed to learn, what I needed to own, where I needed to be, what I needed to do. How do I become that person? What is the gap between who I am today and that person? And I started getting over that gap. I started traversing all of those obstacles that were separating me from that person. And eventually, I became that person. So, do I love the person in the mirror? Yeah, I look up to that guy. I love that guy. Why? Is it just because it's me and I think I'm the best person in the world? It has nothing to do with being the best person in the world. I'm not measuring myself against you or anybody else. I'm measuring myself against my own values and convictions and desires. And when I measure myself against those, I forced myself to become everything that I idealized, everything that I wanted to be. So what is left not to love? And if there was somebody in this world that I looked up to and said, oh no, I would rather be that person than me, I could either sit around feeling this way, or I could start taking a few more steps and figure out how to become whatever it is I like about that other person. Do you see what I'm saying? If you are not your favorite person in the world, ask yourself why, and maybe start doing something about it. Make yourself become your favorite person in the world. Don't lower your standards, or don't just focus them egocentrically and say, I'm just going to love myself and I'm great because I'm me. Nobody is great because they are them. That's stupid. There are 8 billion people in this world, and none of us is born particularly special, right? It's not about where you were born. It's not about who your parents are. It's not about how you look or how much money you were given on your 18th birthday. What really matters is who you make yourself be, who you choose to be, what words you decide to say, what actions you decide to take. All right? Become the person that you love the most. Earn that love. Don't just love yourself because you're sucking down air, or whatever it is you're proud of, your country, or your race, or your religion, or those things are not accomplishments. Those are not a person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Love yourself more than anybody else, because you have made yourself into a person who commands that kind of admiration. Make yourself into a person who deserves it. It's not about how you compare to anybody else. It's about your values, your value system, your beliefs, your ideals. It's about being a person who conforms to your own ideal person, your image of the perfect person. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I live perfectly according to the dictates of my own heart and my own mind. And because of that, I like myself more than anybody else in this world. I'm the person that I see myself in the mirror. My wife is the happiest wife I know. My dog has a better life than most of the people that I know. I am completely fulfilled. I'm constantly learning. I get emails and messages from people on a weekly basis saying, Paul, thank you. Something that you've done has benefited me in my life. It's made me more successful. It's made me better able to provide for my family. And I thank people whenever they say things like this to me. And I genuinely mean it, because when I wake up in the morning and I know that I'm giving of myself and I'm giving of my time, and it's making people's lives better around the world, holy shit, that feels good. Why, if you could do something like that, why would you wake up and do literally anything else, right? I mean, that's awesome. I'm building myself up by building other people up. Oh, that's so good. It should be fattening, right? Why do I make all these videos? It's because when I look at myself in the mirror and I know I spent a portion of my day investing in others people who want more success, who want more happiness, and I'm creating things that can help get them there and might very well make them happier for the rest of their whole lives. Can you imagine from sitting here recording this video today, how much easier it is to look at myself in the mirror tomorrow and love the person I'm looking at? That's a person that cares enough to do something. That's a person who does things out of the goodness of his own heart, just because, he can and he wants to. That's a person who doesn't cheat on his wife. That's a person who would give his life if his dog was being threatened. That's a person who would do this. I love the person I am, and I want that for you too. Love the person that you are. And if you don't love that person right now more than anybody else in the world, then ask yourself why. What's the difference between the person you see in the mirror and your ideal person? The person that you think about and say, this is the kind of person that I wish I was. Identify the gap between point A and point B and start figuring out what are the steps you need to take? What are the changes you need to make to become that person? All right? Don't love yourself for who you are. Make yourself into the person that you most want to be. And then, of course, you're going to love yourself more than anybody else. It's not conceit. It's not vanity. It's not arrogance. It's evolution. That's it. That's what I've got for you today. If you like it, subscribe to it and get more of it. All right? Thanks for watching, and cheers from Bolivia.